Huskies. As we'll see a squad from the American, the Utah State Aggies, taking on one of the top 5 teams in the conference, the Northern Illinois Huskies. Glad to have you with us for EA Sports College Football. I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack and Jesse Palmer with me in the booth. Guys, we are ready to tee it up. Utah State lined up, ready to deliver the opening kickoff. From inside the 10-yard line, he'll bring it back. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. So Northern Illinois' offense will dial up the first ball plays in this one. And what a performance, an aerial show from this guy in the last game, and he has to have a ton of confidence coming into this one, David.
Yeah, it was a great week. And watching that tape before this game, like you could tell, man, he was seeing it quick, the ball.
He'll start this drive firing. Gets it out fast. Nice gain on that play, but a little bit short of the first down. The Huskies can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Got it in the middle, it's Smith. Really confident throw and catch there. Big pickup, and they have a first down. Looking to throw on first down. Got the quick pass.
Well, you can tell those two have been practicing the out route all off-season long. They look like they could have completed that in their sleep.
Hauls it in. They'll finally get him on the ground, but not before he makes it to the 30 and gets a first down. Looking to throw on first down. He'll grab the throw to the sideline and step out of bounds after picking up a few. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. Quarterback on the keeper. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple. They've got to come up with a big play on this third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Finds his man. It's Smith. Doesn't quite make it to the first down marker. He's a yard short. On fourth down, they'll try to throw it. He'll take a shot. Drop the football, and they'll turn it over on downs. The Aggies offense headed onto the field. Our first look at them today. Every team has impact players. What traits are you looking for when it comes to players who can make an impact, David?
Well, obviously, you want the main things, right? Speed, physicality, like all power, all those things are really, really good. But you also need guys that will hold people accountable, guys that will lead. And it's nice to have those guys on your team. They're the leaders of the team, and they're the best players.
And part of the reason why they're leaders is because these guys galvanize their teammates, right? We've seen time and time again, these dudes make plays, and it just sparks the sideline. It sparks the coaching staff. It sparks the fans. They're special players, and they all have to play well today.
With the catch, it's Roman. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker. Going to swing it on second down. That's caught. It's Roman. And the defense makes the immediate tackle, but he has enough for the first down. From the gun, the ground game. A most efficient pickup of 6 on first down. It's 2nd and 4. Wants to go up top. Here comes the heat. And the defense will corral the quarterback, and down he goes at midfield.
That defender is a matchup nightmare for any offensive lineman to block. He's got athleticism, he's got length, he's got flexibility. He put it all on display on that sack.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, try to convert through the air. And the incomplete pass will bring up 4th down. Utah State will be forced to send out the punt team. He ought to be able to use this first punt to pin them deep. Probably hope for a little bit more on that one. It'll go out of bounds right at the 30-yard line. Northern Illinois takes over as the offense heads to the field. Off the RPO, complete.
You know, the short passing game is a great go-to weapon for any offensive coordinator in the first quarter because it's reliable, obviously, but it also allows you to see how the defense is going to react and play you. So for coordinator...
Under pressure, and down he goes at the 33.
This defense, they are tenacious, and they've got guys up front that are athletic and that are so strong and then can collapse the pocket. You saw it right there in that play-action attempt.
Third down following the sack by the D. From the gun, wants to pass. And he gets it to the 44-yard line. It'll be a first down. And the Huskies come to the line with a fresh set of downs. He'll do it himself. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple. After losing a couple on that last play, here's 2nd and 12. Back to pass. Can't get him to the ground. The defense wouldn't let him loose, and even though it's a completion, they lost yardage. After losing yardage on those last two runs, you know they've got to throw it here on 3rd and 15. Back to the ground with the running back. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple. Northern Illinois will line up to punt it away. This will be their first punt of the afternoon. First one's on its way. The leg ought to be strong. Only called on twice in the victory last week. Everybody stays in their lanes well enough, and they stop him at the 31-yard line. Utah State has it back, ready to go to work on offense. Going right to work up top. Caught over the middle. It's Roman. Tackled almost immediately. They're well short of the first down. Here's the handoff. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain. And the Aggies come to the line on 3rd and short, looking to keep the drive moving. Shotgun snap, wants to throw it on 3rd. And he gets it to the 45-yard line, and that'll be a first down. Last completion moved the sticks, and let's see if they try it again. Rush is on him. Caught in the backfield, it's Levis. And that did not work. Defense smelled that one out from the beginning. 2nd down, they'll go to the air. They're setting up the screen. At midfield, he's got room. And he'll be smacked to the ground. The Aggies come to the line on 3rd and short, looking to keep this drive moving. Just keep slinging it. Got it in the middle, it's Bickley. He gets it to the 38-yard line, and they'll pick up a fresh set of downs. Wants to go up top on first down. And the defense picks up a sack, getting the quarterback down at the 44.
There's been a little bit of a seesaw here the last two plays. Offense gets a chunk play, and then the defense gets a sack. Great job by the defense there, turning the page and coming up with the big one.
And the Aggies trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. Second down, he'll throw it. A shot toward the end zone. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch. This will be the 8th play of the drive, but a great opportunity for the defense to get off the field. And the missed connection on 3rd down. Utah State will be forced to send out the punt team. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. Boy, they had a chance to track that thing down, but it bounces into the end zone for a touchback. A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. Give to the running back. Knocked down behind the line. Boy, he powered through one tackler, but there were more there to greet him. Second down coming up. The RPO, it's complete. They get him on the ground, and with that, we'll head to the second quarter. It's been a defensive battle through the first period, and the stats tell that tale. Both sides trying to find a little rhythm and efficiency and move the ball some here as we start the second quarter. This offense had a little extra time to think about it. Let's see what they have on third down. He puts a lot of air under it down the sideline. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers. Northern Illinois will line up to punt it away. He'll get it up to about the 44-yard line before they slam the brakes on it. Utah State sending its offense back onto the field. Grabbed over the middle. It's Roman. He snagged it, but he'll be stopped short of the first down. Good, solid pickup on that play. Grabbed behind the line. It's Bickley. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. On third and short, they'll try to pick it up with the pass. Catch in the middle, it's Bickley. And they explode on that one, and they've got it down to the 22.
And it's on third downs like this. If you want to attack the middle of the field, you got to look for the tight end. Really nice route. Great job looking that football in. You can tell this quarterback really has a lot of confidence when he's in the pocket looking for the big fella. And the
defense, they've got him at the 27.
But for this defense, finally, you're seeing pressure on the quarterback. They're outside the top 50 in sacks per game. They've been waiting to find some more consistent pressure to help them win games, and they're getting it in this game now. 3 sacks on the day. They're just simply winning and doing a better job executing up front at the point of attack.
They've already racked up big sack numbers. It's starting to snowball, and they are ready to go again. Caught in the backfield. It's Tremble. And he runs through one tackle and picks up a few. Now facing a third and long. Motion from the wide receiver. Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air. It's incomplete. He was shooting for the end zone right there. They're happy enough to try to take the points as the field goal unit heads out. And he'll kick for the 3 from 36 yards out in the right hash. Right down the boulevard, it's good. And the first points of the day come on that field goal.
Man, so many more times we're going to say, go for it, be aggressive. Nice to have a guy you can depend on, and you know you're putting 3 on the board. Nice kick, nice job.
On the move from inside his 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. The Northern Illinois offense ready to go back to work. They're looking for any type of offense to try to get this thing going down 3-0. After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. Off play action. Looking down the middle. Got his man downfield. He gets those chains moving, gets it out to the 42-yard line. Off the bootleg, wants to throw it. Right on the money. And they pick up just a few on that completion. So now it's 2nd and long. Looking to fire. Bringing the heat. It's complete. Smashes through the tackle. They finally get him on the ground, but he's got an explosive play for the first down.
That's what's so scary about this offense. They've got guys in the perimeter that can change the game in one single play, and you saw it right there. Too much speed on the perimeter to create that explosive play.
He put it out there for him, and the senior gave him a chance, but they couldn't make the connection. Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. They'll run play action. Caught in the backfield, it's Peterson. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. He wants to throw it again. Here's a heat. Quickly to the tight end. Picks up enough to give them 1st and 10 from the 13. The Huskies had tough field position to start this drive, but they've been relentless in moving the ball methodically down the field. They get him down, but he was driving his way and gets it down to the 7-yard line. Operating in the red zone here on 2nd down. Quick release on the RPO. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. He'll pull it on the read. Fights his way for a couple, but stops short of the marker. It's 4th and 1. They're in makeable field goal range. They could tie the game, but instead they'll go for it on 4th down. On 4th down, he'll try to toss it. Oh, he dropped it. Just didn't look it all the way in, and they'll turn it over on downs. And that decision will be questioned for a while. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. Keeps it on the bootleg, looking to throw. Quarterback adapting. Able to get just a few before sliding to avoid the hits. The Aggies come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to keep the drive alive. On 3rd and short, they'll try to throw for it. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a 4th down. Utah State will be forced to send out the punt team. And the return man reaches the end of the line, and down he goes. Guys, we'll see what the plan is for this Northern Illinois offense. And the defense will corral the quarterback, and down he goes at midfield.
And this is one of the things that makes this defense so tricky is they've got incredible speed at the inside linebacker position. Not only can they go sideline to sideline and run east-west, but they can run downhill on blitzes, and they can get to your quarterback.
And the Huskies with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Wants to fire on 2nd down. That's caught. It's Smith. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground covered to pick up the 1st. 3rd and long, and he'll try to throw for it. Looking to the big tight end. Got his man on the right. Just carving up this defense and getting it down to the 24. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Smith. He's brought down, but he went backwards after that completion, not the way they had it drawn up. 2nd down, they'll go to the air. The short hands, it's Smith. Breaks into the open. That one takes it down to the 13-yard line. This Northern Illinois offense continues to move quickly. They'll try the run. And he'll lose yardage on this play. Loses 2 yards. Great job by the defense. We're at the 2-minute timeout. It's been a good one so far. Opportunity for this offense perhaps to take the lead before halftime. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. And they'll race it to the house. Touchdown, Huskies. Now you know why you do all of those squats, all of those deadlifts, extra time in the weight room.
No doubt. Get that lower body strength so you can just shed people off you. What a great job smelling the end zone and getting in.
Lining up to add another. And the extra point is good, and it's a 4-point lead. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
A bit of an under-the-radar game this week, guys, but take a look at this. Georgia is currently trailing in this one, but it feels like the momentum may be turning. These dogs have picked themselves up off the canvas before, and they are capable of it again today. They're trailing by just 4 to Florida. Just another week of college football where we've come to expect the unexpected. Fellas?
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. Gets the back moving. Back to pass on second down. Got it behind the line. It's Bickley. Timeout is called, and it's the defense wanting to make sure that everyone's on the same page for this big down. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Wide open downfield. At the 45 on his way. Into enemy territory and out of bounds at the 41 after the good gain there. This offense has been sluggish to say the least, but finally they're on the move on 1st and 10. Wants to throw again. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be 2nd down. Wants to go up top. Finds his tight end. They're able to get him stopped just shy of the 1st down marker. They'll hurry to the line here to try to get off that 3rd down play. They'll try to pick up the first through the air. Got him downfield. They get him stopped, but the big gain has them on the doorstep. Let's mark it at the 13. Going to the run, it's Blue. And this one will be stopped for no gain. We got a timeout here late in the 1st half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. To the air on 2nd down. Pocket breaking down. It falls incomplete. He was trying to find his man for 6. This will be the 8th play of the drive, but a great opportunity for the defense to get off the field. On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete, and 4th down's coming. And it looks as if they're going to try a field goal. And the kicker delivers the 3 to salvage that drive. That brings them to within 1.
And that's not the way they wanted to end the drive, but nice job being ready and your field goal kicker coming through and putting 3 points on the board.
So they get the field goal, now about to kick it away, and you get a stop here, and you go to halftime feeling really good about things. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. So let's see how they play it in this final 30 seconds of the 1st half. They're going to throw it to start the drive. He misses his man. The accuracy just not what it needed to be on that play. What will they dial up on 2nd and a long way to go? Got a little space.
We love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
That's going to wrap up the 1st half here. Now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
Fellas, looks like you've got a great scene there today in DeKalb. And a lot of coaches will say limiting the big plays and maybe hitting on a few yourself is key. But I'm more of a move the chains guy. Give me efficiency every day of the week and twice on Saturday. The offensive unit that subscribes to the less is more philosophy might be the one that leaves here today with a big fat W. And with that, let's send it back to the guys at Husky Stadium.
Northern Illinois will kick it away to start the 2nd half. And he takes this from inside the 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Guys, the Utah State offense about to give it another go. They got a lot done through the air in the 1st half, and they might... Turning it on! He'll move it up to the 37-yard line, and it'll be a 1st down. They really got things moving on this drive. 2nd play of the drive comes from the 37. Just too much heat that time, and they knock him down at the 31.
When it's a play-action pass, that quarterback, he really has to sell the fake. He can't tell his offensive lineman's getting beat right away while he's selling the fake. He had no shot.
And the Aggies now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. They'll go to work in the air on second down. And he really needed to hold on to that one, but it was knocked loose, and third down is coming. Trying to pick up a first down. On third and long, he's going to have to turn one loose downfield. Quick strike complete. He stopped short of the 40, right at the 39, and it's fourth down. They booted away on fourth down. Couldn't get away from that cover team, and they've got him down at the 23. Northern Illinois takes over as the offense heads to the field. They haven't really been able to light up this scoreboard, but putting points up would be huge here. Moves up to the 34-yard line, give him a 10-yard pickup. Lining up from the 34 on first down. Gives it on the option. He's going to lose a yard on that one. Lost one on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. From the gun, they'll give it on the inside. And they'll move the chains and get it to the 47-yard line. Northern Illinois back to work after picking up the first down. Out of the gun, they give to the back. And how about the efficiency on that one? It'll bring up 2nd and 4. Split backs here. They'll send the back in motion. Got room to work. Crosses the 35, out of bounds there. Nice pickup on the play, spotted at the 32. From the shotgun, the inside give. Gets it inside the 30, down to the 27, a pickup of 6. The Huskies with myriad options after that big pickup on first down. He's got an open man. And he'll take it in and house it. Touchdown, Northern Illinois.
Man, this guy is an elite tight end. This guy is a dude. He keeps making plays like this. We're going to start comparing him to Brock Bowers and Kyle Pitts. The run after the catch, the big body, the athletic ability. He has it all.
Getting set for the point after. And they kick it through for the extra point, and they have an 8-point lead. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead.
14, Utah State, 6.
On the run from inside his own 5. He only needs a sliver of daylight. Oh, what vision. And there he goes. He'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Aggies. That dude ought to have a lethal sticker on his helmet. Anytime he touches it, it can be a score. He touched it, and it was.
No doubt. Unbelievable speed. And if you're back deep for a kickoff, obviously you've got those wheels. But to be able to get through, and guess what? No flags. You know it's going to count. Great job by the special teams being special.
He's looking to pass. He's got it in the end zone. 2-point conversion is good, and we've got a tie game. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. From inside his own 10, he'll try to help out their field position. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. He'll keep it himself. Not a whole lot of room there. 3 yards maybe, 2nd and 7. Went to the running game on first down. Now here they come again. From the gun. Give on the inside. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. On third down, he drops the throw. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. Fourth down coming up. Northern Illinois will line up to punt it away. A fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. Utah State has it back, ready to go to work on offense. Another opportunity here. They had to punt it on their last possession, but this time tight game, hoping to get something on the board.
It's got to feel good as an offense knowing that early in the drive you can turn around, hand it off, get a push up front, and go get positive yardage.
Look out, he's got room. Delivers the stiff arm. He'll go out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Big pickup there, and this offense is feeling it. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play. The Aggies have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. Under fire. And the heat gets home. They knock him down back at the 45.
And listen, the quarterback drops back, and he's going through his progressions. We see zone, but just couldn't do anything about it. This defensive line, this pressure, getting to the quarterback, getting him on the ground.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, he'll need to loosen up that arm. Didn't have much room to run and not a whole lot of help. Short gain there, and still plenty of ground to cover for the first down. He'll get away another punt. He's been really active today, and no doubt he's going to earn his varsity letter. The Northern Illinois offense ready to go back to work. Last time they had it, didn't pick up a first down. Let's see if they can put something together here. Showing the arm strength down the left side. Fires into traffic, intercepted. He managed a few yards on that return, but the bigger play was the fact that they forced the turnover. And the offense takes the field, eager to go back to work. Back in motion, try to clear the picture. Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance. They're dealing with a 2nd and long. Wide receiver comes in motion. Gonna sling it on 2nd down. Grabbed behind the line. It's Levis. The defense wouldn't let him loose there, and it was a completion, but they lost yardage. On 3rd and long, a check down would be the last resort. It's caught downfield. That'll be enough for the first down as they mark it down at the 31-yard line. They'll move the tight end. Back to the ground game on the left. Great penetration by this defense, and they knock him down behind the line. A loss of 1. And the Aggies trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. Back to pass. Here's the pressure. That pressure got to him, and he just had to chuck it out of bounds. It'll be 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Quickly out to the tight end. He did not make it a stone wall on 3rd down. Punt is in the air on 4th down. That thing was down for a while, but the big bounce carried it into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. Guys, we'll see what the plan is for this Northern Illinois offense. Well, the good news about this drive, Jesse, it can't go worse than last time through a pick on the first play.
No, it certainly can't. I think one good way, David, to help your quarterback turn the page is just find him an easy completion here and let him get back into a rhythm.
Yeah, or find him an easy handoff. Just hand the football off, maybe get the ground game going, maybe jumpstart this offense a little bit.
Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down. And here comes the heat, and they get home, and they get him at the 21.
That's a good example there of complementary defense. The DBs and linebackers are playing zone, they're playing their spaces, and they force the QB to have to hold the ball, try to work through his progressions, and then the pass rush, they win up front.
Northern Illinois will line up to punt it away.
To kick it away.
Hauls it in and looking upfield. Returns like that are why you don't settle for the fair catch if you don't have to. Picks up just a little bit of yards to help out the O. From the gun, they'll try the middle. His junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain. Solid pickup of 4 on first down and 2nd and 6. The give on the inside. And just wedges it ahead a bit before he's brought down. The Aggies really need to keep this drive alive on third down. Quarterback on the keeper. Really nice job to convert that third down, and they've got it at the 33. Utah State comes to the line with a 1st and 10. Gives it on the option. Creates a little room. And that defense pushing him out of bounds after a short gain. What a ride. It's been through the first 3 quarters of this game. We are all tied up. Let's check out some stats. These two teams about to find out what they're made of as we open the 4th all tied up. So the final period starts with a 2nd down play. They'll send the tight end in motion. He'll do it himself. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple. They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Deep shot for the end zone. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch. Utah State will be forced to send out the punt team. Punt goes out of bounds, and a really nice job as they stick them deep in their own end. They'll mark it around the 10. To the air on 1st down. Makes the catch. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain. Trying to get a rhythm in the passing game, now on 2nd down. And that defense is there to guide him out of bounds after a short gain. And the Huskies come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to convert here. They'll try to drive ahead on 3rd and short. And he was able to run through a tackle, and they finally get him, but not until he picks up the 1st down. Looking downfield on 1st down. They're working that left side. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there, still a bit short of the 1st down. The Huskies in a good spot here with 2nd and short. Now the play fake. Fires to the tight end. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. In the gun and looking to throw on 3rd down. He lofts it high and deep down the left side. And it's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Northern Illinois. They've got the lead here in the 4th.
A lot of times you see those receivers, as soon as they get by the DBs, you know, that hand goes straight up in the air. I got him. I got to step on him. He got to step on him. And the ball was thrown perfectly out in front. You can see he runs underneath it, gets it, and gets the long touchdown on the go route.
Ready to try the point after. The extra point is good, and now in the fourth, they're up by a touchdown and an extra point. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Terrific showdown this week, guys. Let's take a look at what's going on. Georgia is currently trailing, but if this young star leads a comeback today, he could join Matthew Stafford and Stetson Bennett among the greats to play in Athens. It's a touchdown game. They're trailing by 7 to Florida. Any big developments in this one, we've got you covered with the best studio team in the business. Gentlemen?
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be... Oh, he's got some space. Found a bunch of room and got it to the 44-yard line.
And how do you lose sight of the big fella? I mean, the defense, where were they? They were nowhere around. He comes scot-free. Nice job by the quarterback recognizing it, getting the football, and he does the rest and makes the big play down the field.
Not a whole lot of progress made there on the short run. Second down, they'll go to the air. It's complete to the left. All the way down to the 25-yard line, they move the sticks. It's first down. This Utah State offense has it going. From the gun, running back on the move. Stop is made almost immediately. Give him 1 to the 23. After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. They'll try to pop the draw. He never had a chance on the draw. Tackled almost as soon as he got the ball. They're close enough for a makeable field goal from the 26, but they'd love to convert this 3rd and long. There is nowhere to go. He is stopped, and it'll be 4th down from the 23. And now on 4th down, they will put it on the shoulders of the kicker to save them with his foot. And the try is no good. And they couldn't cut into the lead. It's still a 7-point game.
Well, that last missed field goal is essentially a microcosm of the year it's been for this football team. Things just not going the right way on offense, on defense, and on special teams. Guys, it's just been that kind of year.
All kinds of room to throw that one in there. There he goes to the right. Inside the touchdown, Huskies. And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing. They extend this lead, and it looks as if they are going to make it 2 wins in a row. He has been surgical. Precision passes, using the scalpel, the fine instrument, rather than the blunt one.
And the defense has had absolutely no answer for him. Just, he's been down their throats all game long, a step ahead, understanding what he's seeing, and just destroying this defense.
And the extra point is true, and they have a 2-touchdown lead, up 14 in the 4th. They're set to kick it off. Do you think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Utah State sending its offense back onto the field. Throws to the tight end. And the defense making a play, getting a hand on that pass. Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on 2nd down. After the incompletion, they go back up top. And that pass will be jarred loose on 2nd down. That brings up 3rd down. We'll see if the offense can move the chains after that incompletion. On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. And that'll be incomplete. They certainly weren't afraid to take a shot there, and now it's 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Going back to the well, another deep ball. Hauls it in easily enough for the 1st down. And not much of a 4th down gamble when it's that much of a sure thing, an easy conversion for this offense.
Hey, man, that was just perfect execution offensively. On a fourth down like that, if you're going to throw a completion, get the first and keep the drive alive, QB's got to be great with his eyes. He's got to throw it on time. His target has to be in the perfect place at the perfect time, and you got to be able to haul it in. They checked all the boxes on that fourth down.
From the gun, he leaves it with the back. He's brought down just running hard in the red zone, and he'll be just a few inches short. And the Aggies have a lot of options on 2nd and inches. They'll run it. It's Levis. He almost punched it in for 6. They'll get him down at the 1-yard line. 1st and goal, and this feels like their chance to make a game of it. They'll try to get it in with the run. And he runs into a wall, maybe got it back to the line of scrimmage. Can the D deny them on 2nd and goal? Tries again to get it in. Just hammer it with this running back again, and he noses his way into the end zone.
And the running back was not going to be denied on that play. He had a hole, he saw it, he put his foot in the ground, and that was pay dirt.
He'll try to tack on one more. And with the extra point, every little bit counts as they get closer. They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. And he'll bring it out of the end zone. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. Northern Illinois takes over as the offense heads to the field. And now that cushion is a little bit smaller, Jesse, and any mistake would get magnified.
Yeah, a little bit of pressure now on this offense too, David. I think they got to go back to their playmakers and get these guys going in the game.
No doubt, find those plays you know you can run them in your sleep. You make sure you execute, build this lead a little bit bigger, put this thing away in the 4th quarter.
Now facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires to the wideout. And he can't grab the bullet pass on 3rd down.
Now, 4th down.
Northern Illinois will line up to punt it away. They've been busy out there to punt for the 5th time today. Another punt on the way. Got to make sure those hammies and glutes all activated. Don't want any muscle pulls from overuse. Guys, the Utah State offense about to give it another go. They'll come out on this drive and let it rip. Buying some time. Recovered by the defense, and he's off. Flying down the left side. Touchdown, Northern Illinois. This defense making a big play and putting it in the end zone. Starting to see some smiles on that sideline as they're close to a Week 10 victory.
You practice these moments as a defense, but you never know when they're going to come to fruition. But how about it? The scoop, the ball's on the turf. They scoop it up. They take it to the house. The defense takes care of business and said, offense, we don't need you. We'll put points on the board.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And they stay on target with the extra point, up 35-21. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead.
Utah State, 21.
He'll start the return inside his 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Utah State has it back, ready to go to work on offense. Trying to start the drive with a pass. And the defense makes a play, sacking him back at the 10. The Aggies want to pick up the tempo.
I got to be honest, I'm a little surprised the offense is trying to go so fast here after giving up a huge loss on that sack. You'd think they'd want to just take a second, regroup before running.
And he feels the heat coming, and it burns him up. Another sack. The defense all revved up after that earlier sack, and they'll try to stop him right here. On 3rd and long, you'll have to turn it loose deep. He lobs one high down the left side. He's got it! And it looked as if he might take that one all the way to the house. Just ran out of a little steam, and the defense finally got him. 2 minutes now left in this one, and time is running short if they want to find a way to pull this one out. Wants to throw on 1st down. Pressure is effective from the defense. They knock him down just behind the midfield stripe at the 48. Now facing 2nd and long after the defense came up with that sack. And this defense has maxed out this pressure. Another sack. IndyCar tempo as they head to the line for this 3rd down play. Clock running. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. He's taking a deep shot late in the game. Got it! And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Aggies!
And listen, still a ways to go, but great job by this offense getting you back in the ball game. Now, we got a 1-possession game. We got our score. We did what we're supposed to do. Now, how do we get this stopped? Now, the defense has to come up big and get me the rock back.
PAT unit on the field.
For the extra point.
They tack on the extra point, and they're down a touchdown, 35-28. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Boys, if it's happening in college football, we've got eyes on it. Check this out. Georgia is currently up big at this moment, so much so they're on the verge of giving UGA the rest of the day off. They're up by 21 over Florida. We'll circle back. If anything big happens, you should know about it.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. Quick timeout call by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. He'll pull it on the read. Picks up the 1st down. All down, but he has enough to move the chains. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. And the quarterback's just going to take a knee. Well, this was an offensive showcase out there today. We thought it would be a high-scoring game, and it certainly delivered.
If you love offense, then you love this type of game. Both offenses going up and down the field, seemingly at will. Throwing the ball, running the ball. But, David, I feel like if you're a fan of defense, maybe this wasn't your cup of tea.
More defense optional. You didn't really get too much of that stuff, but, listen, you got to get a few stops late in the game. You got to get just kind of one stop with this many points that was being scored. You got the stop late. That's why you got the dub.
That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.